So now that we're back to Literacy Tuesday, I want to discuss some spelling tips. I've given you word lists. I've given you a lot of resources, which I will leave, a link to my Pinterest board, which has the complete Literacy Tuesday program. But the first tip I want to tell you when it comes to spelling, and I call it rule number 1. I do apologize, it's going to contradict probably everything that you've known until now. Watch carefully. Is in capital. No spelling tests. No spelling test. Yay! Your kids are so thrilled. No spelling tests. That is the first tip I'm going to give you, and I'll tell you why. Number 1, when you give a spelling test, you pick a set of words and you just expect the kids to know it. That's not the right way to approach it because, number 1, you have kids who they know the words. They really don't need a spelling test because to them it's second nature, whether it's because they're avid readers or their brains picked up on the patterns. They don't really need a spelling test. And number 2, you have the weak spellers and it's like, well, I'm never going to spell anyway. So do away with spelling tests. Now you want your kids to be good spellers, of course, and I've seen this work actually. In one classroom I have, worked with, blew my mind, and I'm going to tell you, we get to rule number 2. Rule number 2 is correct the spelling. Now, no spelling tests, correct the spelling. This is strange, and I'm going to tell you kind of what we do. Now, you build up on spelling. For example, let's say they're in first grade, they wrote a sentence like, let's say, I love mom. I don't know. So they go like this. Let's just say, I love mom. Now, they did a really good job with the I, but the love is a little bit interesting. To them, they're a new speller. So I would highlight it, circle it, underline it, whatever it is. And then I would bring it down to the child, like this, exactly as they wrote it, and say, can you sound it out? They could read the sentence, I love mom, but now sound it out, v. That doesn't make sense. And now you're kind of teaching the child to correct themselves. Now, for a child who just understands language, they may, missing an O. And this is obviously a word that is really difficult, to work with, but eventually you're to guide them, oh my goodness, it's love. And whether you need help or you need to work with the child, the key is take it very, very slow. And at first, try to get the child to see where the mistake is. And if they can't, then help them. Now give them guiding questions. For example, let's say they did the word, let's say pet, There's PT, it's pet, which is a very common mistake. And, well, pet, Pt. No, that doesn't make sense. What sound is missing? Try, stretching the word. Then have them stretch it. P-et. Oh, the E is missing. And now I have spelled the word pet. Now, number 3. You're doing everything correctly and the child is making the same mistake over and over in the same sentence or the same whatever they have to write. You're noticing the same mistake. That's where you build up word patterns with the child. Let's say they're making a mistake in the AI category. So what I would do is, it's kind of like, it's not really a spelling test, but give them sentences, review the AI rule and then give them sentences or projects that require them to use the AI rule. For example, have them make a sentence with rain. It's raining today. How would you describe rain? So you're not giving them a spelling test, but you're making them use the word over and over again. And they could kind of, you can add words that have the AI sound and have them work with it. You're not telling them, you keep on pointing out the mistake, but eventually they will build up the word patterns in their brain. Now, I'm telling you, I have seen spellers in first grade. We're talking about babies, first grade, who had no introduction to words except sight words, which you know my opinion on that. First grade, a teacher used this technique. Let me tell you, by the end of the year, first graders were spelling words with O-U-G-H blend. Now, if you know that is hard, I have seen fifth graders who have difficulty with. Half of the overstuffed first grade class was spelling O-U-G-H words, and the other half, who may not be able to spell it, were reading it correctly. So the key is, I cannot stress it enough, no spelling tests. Pick up on your kids' patterns, see where they need the help, and when you think they need help, don't help them. Point out their mistakes first and see if they can correct themselves. And only at the very, very, very end do you have them correct themselves. Now next week I'm going to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to discuss kind of sentence writing. You'll see what I mean next week. There's different skills involved, and I'll go through it and kind of helping kids develop, because once they could spell the words and read the words, let's take it to the next level. So just to sum it up, no spelling tests, help the kids find their mistakes and help them correct themselves, because you know what? You're not going to be there forever. And if they could correct themselves, they'll become much better spellers in the future. And if you have a question on this, if you have a question on spelling, reading, writing, or education in general, leave a comment in the comment box below, because I'm here for my kids, for your kids, for kids in my play-based education program. I'm here for kids everywhere. Will for sure reply to your comments. Either I'll let you know I'm making a new video, or I'll just reply. Either way, we're here to make education fun for everyone. Happy playing.